Happy hump day to everyone in bad quarterback land. At least a couple of you will be happy with this week's standings. But with every yin, there's a yang, and with every cleansing, there's
a mess of it.
This week brought to you by Jeff George of the Turbush League. The commissioner tipped me off to this mess, and he will surely have more on this in the weekly email. But exec summary is that no one last week caught that Mr. George picked a team he doesn't even have. Jeff, and I prefer to spell his name with a G due to the person who owns it and the fact that it looks ridiculous next to George, owns 4 teams, and none of them are the not yet LA Bolts, unless I'm really out of the loop, and by that he meant Denver, Detroit, or Cincinnati.
Goodness me.
I believe the commissioner gave you no points, not because God has mercy on your soul, but because that was the lowest score one of your remaining teams had this week. Hashtag Banner Relegation Watch 2016 has been trending all season long, but he finds himself again in 6th place after watching 5th and 7th switch spots on him this week. Although instead of enjoying a 32-point lead over relegation zone, his lead is now down to 10, and even 8th place is closing the gap. And now the week Ocho standings. Johnny Effie Moxon remains in 1st place after a decent week. He picked the top 2 teams, but they didn't do much. However, these are real points here, boys. No votes of confidence or other 24/7 crap. Jumping to 2nd this week is Kellen Moore, although not by much. He didn't even pick his 2 best teams. A slow, steady drop back to 7th is now pretty likely for him. Chad Hutchinson, once a regular in 1st place, drops to 3rd after scoring in the single digits for the first time since week 3. He's now the only person left who hasn't scored a 0 or negative any week this whole season. And now for a new segment, I'd like to start featuring how good Jamarcus Russell's bench teams are doing, mostly to highlight how bad Jamarcus Russell is picking. This week, the bench didn't score any points, but that's still better than Jamarcus Russell did. If Mr. Russell's bench was playing in the Kirsch League, it would be beating 5 people. While Tyler Palko also has not scored negatives this season, we now can't say he scored positive every week this season. Well, this is also a technicality since he did pick negative scoring teams this week, but he got 10 24/7 points. Whatever, this is too complicated, and that's why I stick to making videos and not keeping score. I'm beginning to crack Wade Wilson's season strategy. Whenever a team doesn't score many BQBL points one week, he sticks with them for a 2nd week, and then they go ham. Last week his San Diego pick did so bad they got him honorable mention for he's made a mess of it. So what does he do this week? He sticks with San Diego again and he nails it. I predict he'll go with the Titans and Saints next week based on my research. Spurgeon TSSS win played it safe this week and went with his 1st and 2nd round draft picks. Maybe Kyle wants to follow Wade Wilson's strategy and go with Oakland next week. Cleo Lemon made a huge blunder in not starting one of his 2 favorite teams, Buffalo. His other favorite, the Browns, still haven't seen the bench all season. Tim Tebow time just put up his best score of the season and his highest of the week. He didn't even have to choose his team since the other 2 were on a bye week. If only every week could be this easy and this fruitful.
Oh god, I still have to report on the Turbush League, don't I? Actually, things are getting pretty competitive. The gap between Mormon and Whedon is now only 40 points thanks to Mormon's goose egg. Even the bottom half of the league is getting competitive with Ryan Leaf determined to stay in the double digits. And then you have Jamarica Russell. Remember my Johnny? No, I already did that thing. Forget it. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. It's over. We're pausing. We're finished.